So hey guys, welcome to episode 5 of the FSB series. Today I have a dear friend, Alan Christie. How are you going?
Good, how are you?
Oh man, so I'm very excited for this one, guys. I met Alan, I first met him last year at a wireless, and from the outset I knew he was a guy who's very much driven for his faith. He really wants to do a lot of things for Christ, for the church. I already knew that from the very instant I met him. And now I've gotten to know him more personally as he's come to Sydney for work. He's a guy, he's running a lot of projects for the Surrey Malabar Party right now. And a guy is very driven by that. I thank God that we have such a member working for us. So today we're going to ask him, at least we'll see how many parts we do, 3 questions. The first question I wanted to ask him was this. So Alan, you're 27 years old now, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You've gone through a lot. You're approaching the next phase of your life. So my question was, in general, how did you come to faith? What are the elements that inspired you to come to faith from your journey when you were young, when you were a teenager, to like high school, and now university, now you're full-time working? So in that journey, what was the different ways that God brought you to faith, to believe in Him? How did that happen?
So basically, I have been involved in the church for the last 27 years, in saying that from the birth itself, I was in the faith. Obviously, from baptism, you're involved in the church.
Yeah.
You're welcomed into the church. Even before that, like when I was born, I had a little incident in my life, and that changed the way that how the faith is formed in the family. My parents were moved into that faithful life, and ever since then, I'm also involved in that. And when coming to Australia, in the age of 10, that also kept going. Even though we didn't have churches back then, we used to still go to Latin Mass. And once the Malayalam church was, or the Sierra Malabar church was there, or the community was formed, we obviously started going into that. So there is a continuous faith for me. Even before coming to Australia, being in India, your grandparents actually influence you a lot. If you think about it, they were teachers, and they were teaching at a church high school, like that they call it, secondary high school, whatever, in India.
Yeah.
And they were part of that. Obviously, the church and the school was like 100 meters away. They would go to church, take me when I was small, and that even transferred when even coming to Australia, and even after installing your parky, it has only grown. Faith has only grown. It hasn't shrunk down in any ways. Even if we go out of faith, there's a knock that He gives you, and He wants you to come back. And I've also experienced that as well in my life. In terms of just sticking to faith, it's not just sticking to faith, it's also building the whole community. Because when you think about your faith, how that is formed is it's you, your family influences you, your friends influence you, your community influence you, and your external community. There's like 5 layers to this. Even if you think about it, even in your life or my life, it's the same format. Other it's not going to change, and that's how we are built into it. And that actually influences your faith, I believe. Even if you go out, there is always someone to tap on your shoulders and say, yeah, come back to church, or go to confession, or do what is necessary. Even a little bit, like even a little bit of a konda, and that will actually pull towards being better in faith, I believe. So because you have 5 layers, right? Even if you go out of this, there is always this external community that always wants you to come. If you go out of this 5 layers, it's hard to come back. It's not hard to come back, but it's hard for you to make a comeback into that layers, I believe, too. And
That's interesting.
it's the way that is being structured.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's also influences your faith.
Very interesting. So you're saying, who was a guy that for you tapped on your shoulder to say, come back to church? Or like, can you share
Actually,
that?
it was myself, obviously.
It was yourself.
Yeah, look, when you go out of the things, so I've only gone to maybe one level, my family. You know, extra that sort of stuff influences you.
Yeah.
And എടാ നീ വെള്ളിയാഴ്ച പള്ളിയിൽ പോകുന്നില്ലേ? And that kind of goes, okay, വെള്ളിയാഴ്ച പള്ളിയിൽ പോയേക്കാം. Where then you go there and you see, at least one of your friends there. Even അതും പോലും വേണ്ട. Even if you just go there and experience as a Qurbana and come back, all right, അടുത്ത ആഴ്ച പോയേക്കാം. That kind of influences you. So I never tend to miss Sunday Qurbana. That's how that is, and that's always been there, and it will be always there. And when you stick to a bit of a routine or a schedule, it's hard for you to go out from the faith. When you,
Wow.
that's how you are influenced.
Yeah. That's very interesting, honestly, because you're saying the person tapping your shoulder is yourself.
Yeah.
That could have been like an inspiration from God in your heart to tell you, go back, kind of thing.
Like, let's just say it's been 2 months you've confessed, right? That's a tap on your shoulders. It's been too long. Go have a confession.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
even if you're completely out of your faith and you think about it, you've got your friends that are influenced. If one person goes to church or one person's like, look, I'm going to church, and let's, just Sunday I'm thinking of going. At least for the community aspect, let's think about other friends that are going to be there. You can see them and you can come together. That kind of influences.
Yeah.
It's the people that influence. At the same time, it's you that needs to change, and you need to realize that as well.
Interesting. Thank you guys for sharing that, Alan. So we'll go move on to the next one. So go to the next one.